Hi, my name is Kalyati Valsraj and welcome to my YouTube channel. This episode is about my visit to the wonderful Great Basin National Park. The desert areas of Nevada and Utah come under the general name Great Basin Desert. This area is not only a desert but also encompasses different habitats ranging from the Great Salt Lake to high mountains with vegetation. My trip was organized by Naturalist Journeys and started from Salt Lake City, Utah. On the first morning of the trip, we ventured out to the beautiful Antelope Island State Park. This is the largest island within the Great Salt Lake. It is home to an astonishing variety of flora and fauna, in addition to a large variety of birds and wildlife, particularly approximately 600 American bisons and pronghorn sheep. Of the many bird species, the burrowing owl is the most interesting one that inhabit the various burrows and nests within the park. It's quite interesting to watch their antics as they come in and out of the nests. The Asian native partridge known as chukar was introduced to the park and is at the top of many birdwatchers' shortlists in the United States. Other birds found are the horned lark, western meadowlark, and several shorebirds such as the long-billed curlew, American avocet, Franklin's gull, a large number of red phalaropes, and the beautiful black-bellied plover. Two of the most interesting shorebirds that migrate through the lake are the western grebes and the Clark's grebes, both of which are not only known for their courtship rituals, but also the manner in which they carry their young ones on their back as they are fed until ready to leave. On the island, we also visited a remote ranch site where we encountered the great horned owl, the common nighthawk, and many passerine birds such as the olive-sided flycatcher, sage thrasher, wobbling vireo, western wood peewee, and the Townsend's warbler, to name a few. After an early morning breakfast, we set out to Elko, Nevada. And on the way, we visited the famous Bonneville Salt Flats, where land speed records of various types were set on their race grounds. The Salt Flats is an impressive sight indeed. Our place for the night was the Town Places Suites by Marriott in Elko. The next morning at 3 a.m., we set out on a long hike to the top of the majestic Ruby Mountains to watch the sunrise and also to search for the elusive Himalayan snowcocks that were introduced there in the 1960s. These are exotic birds that can otherwise be seen only in the Himalayan range in Asia. Although our trek was arduous, the scenery was absolutely beautiful till we reached the lush green forest and the Ruby Lake. Unfortunately, the snowcocks had already flown away at sunrise towards the opposite side of the mountain. Nevertheless, we engaged in the scenery and we saw many other bird species that were that included the magnificent golden eagle, northern harrier, and other passerines such as the white-crowned sparrow and the dark-eyed junco. After the trek and a good rest in the afternoon, we visited the beautiful South Fork State Research Park, where we saw many shorebirds on their migration path. We also saw a beautiful sora, a killdeer, several Brewster's blackbirds, the rare yellow-headed blackbird, and several black-billed magpies that are all too common in this region. The next morning, we embarked on our long journey to the Great Basin National Park. On the way, we stopped at a sagebrush forest to see a sagebrush sparrow. We saw it but couldn't photograph it. Further, we visited the most scenic Ruby Lakes National Wildlife Monument, where we took a short hike to a flowing stream that was active with several birds, such as the juniper titmice, Lincoln sparrow, black-throated gray warbler, dusky flycatcher, Virginia's warbler, western tanager, and lark sparrows. A number of warblers were making their southward journey to Central America with rest stops along the juniper trees and streams in the area. We finally reached the beautiful Hidden Canyon Retreat near the Great Basin National Park. The retreat is remote but situated in the valley of a serene and scenic mountain nearby. On the grounds of the retreat were mammals such as the mule deer, wild turkey, and rock squirrel. The trails nearby had many birds of the western United States, such as the rock wren, hairy woodpecker, lesser goldfinch, and American robins. The salvia blooming in the garden were especially beautiful, with the migrating rufous hummingbirds displaying their beautiful colors. The next morning, we visited the Great Basin National Park at their high camping ground at the Wheeler Park among the bristlecone pines. There, we had a pleasant experience of seeing the playful least chipmunk. Birds included the mountain chickadee, brewers, sparrows, etc. The highlight of our trip to the Great Basin National Park was the sight of a large group of pinyon jays making a ruckus as they moved through. We also saw Townsend solitaire and other species as we moved to the lower portion of the park. Final visit was to the famous Lehman Caves, part of the longest cave system in Nevada. A beautiful cave with stalagmites and stalactites of all types and beautifully arranged inside with a wonderful park system manager giving us a great tour.